Hello friends, welcome to No Filter Reviews with me, Narsimha. This is my first video review of a Hollywood film, so pardon me if I make any mistakes. And today, we're gonna talk about a movie that has created sensation at the box office across the world. A movie that has been hailed as the best superhero movie to come out in recent times. And it's a movie that has put DC back into the game. I guess you could have probably guessed it by now. Today, we're gonna talk about Wonder Woman. After a bad Batman vs Superman and a disastrous Suicide Squad, people were actually questioning if DC can make a good superhero film. Even I had lost hopes about them, but what a way to come back.
Will come when you have to rise.
As the Lord himself has said, behind every successful man there is a woman, and behind every unsuccessful man there are at least two women. But that's not the case in DC. It's two women who has actually stood like a pillar and brought DC back into the game. Yes, we are talking about the director Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot. The box office figures support these claims. The film has already become the highest grosser for a movie directed by a woman, and in just 24 days, the movie has almost equaled the collections made by Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad in their lifetime. How could this happen? How can a lesser known superhero create such a big impact that Superman and Batman put together could not create? That's exactly what we're going to discuss in this review. The biggest positive of the movie is Gal Gadot. God, she's hot. She's super hot, she's super gorgeous, and the way she has carried herself is just amazing. Her screen presence is enough to keep you glued to the screen. When it comes to casting, it could not have gotten any better than this. I would watch the movie again and again just for her. Having said that, this is not just a movie with all style and no content. Director Patty Jenkins has made sure that she has given you a package which is difficult to hate.
To be careful. Just a shield then.
Diana.
No sharp edges.
Be careful of mankind, Diana.
I love the superhero origin films because there is always a story to tell. It's a journey where the characters and the premise actually develops. Wonder Woman is such journey which you want to be part of. A good story doesn't always make a good film. I say that because it's the execution that matters the most. And when I say execution, it's the narration and the screenplay that forms the building block of a film. The screenplay here is watertight. It keeps you engaged throughout. Even with the runtime of around 120 minutes, there's hardly any boring moments. You can enjoy each and every part of it.
You are in more danger than you think. The boys in the trenches called her Dr. Poison. Millions would die. The war would never end.
Now coming to the narration, I was expecting more of a roller coaster ride, but was surprised to see its laid back narration. I think that's one of the strong points of the movie. The director makes sure that she takes ample amount of time to build its premise. I think premise is one of the most important parts of a movie because it makes sure that there is a good foundation for what is coming next. And also it makes sure that the audience are more involved into the movie and not just watching another action flick.
Would wield it.
Only the fiercest among us even could. And that is not you, Diana.
Coming to the action sequences, I felt that the action was more structured and impressive in this movie than it was in Batman vs Superman or Man of Steel. It looked like the makers had learned from their mistake. They had made sure the action was more relatable and the audience could actually follow who was flying where. The action in here starts off as a hand-to-hand combat and then grows step by step into the final showdown. Even the final action sequences doesn't go overboard and they make sure that it's under check.
All that is good, your wrath upon this world is over.
Now coming to the performances, it was Gal Gadot's show all the way. She has carried the entire movie on her shoulders. Having said that, she is not exactly a versatile actress by any standards. I think it's Patty Jenkins who has played the entire movie to her lead actress strength. That's what separates a good director from a bad director. A director should know the strength and weaknesses of their lead actors and make sure that they extract the best in them. Coming to Chris Pine, He did not have much of a screen space in this movie. He was added more of a comedy sidekick. His role was to add the humor quotient that was actually missing in it, and I felt he had done a decent job.
The bridge to a greater understanding.
Right.
To the war.
Well, technically the war's that way, but we gotta go this way first.
Step back. Or maybe.
And now, the negatives. The major negative that I found in the movie was the absence of a strong villain. This would usually hamper the entire movie, but because his presence was only towards the last 10 minutes of the movie, it did not matter much. And the second thing which I did not like, in fact hated, was the fact that there was a lot of preaching during the climax action. The action should always be bang, 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 not exactly talking about humanity and love. They could have easily avoided that. And the last thing, which is not exactly a negative, but what could have been better, is the pace of the movie. At times it was a bit too slow and some people may find it boring. But other than that, the entire movie was thoroughly enjoyable, and if you have not watched it yet, go watch it.